Hey everyone, this is Kiana, and I am doing a journal or a blog, a daily blog on some of my readings. And today I am in the second chapter of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, which is actually the message behind the Secret movie. It is the secret behind the secret. This teaching will transform your life. I was introduced to it by my mentor, Karen Joyce. God bless her soul. And I'm so thankful for this work. And this is the reason why I am choosing to videotape as I read through each chapter. And I have to tell you that just with the first chapter of starting this work again, things have already started opening up for me. I had money deposited into my account yesterday. It just out of nowhere. Just things are just starting to happen. And this is what happened years ago when I first got introduced to this work. Like, checks started coming. It was just like, where is this money coming from? People just wanted to just give me things, and just the abundant life was manifesting like everywhere I turned. And that's when there's some kind of works that can create that type of prosperity to begin to happen in your life. Why would you ever stop practicing it? But that's something that a lot of us do. We find something, it works, and then we'll use it for a while, and then we go back into our old routines. Well, I made a commitment that this teaching, I'm not letting it go ever again. I'm just not. And I want to master this work. And I'm going to teach this work. But for now, I'm going to read the work and let it digest. And hopefully I'll help to transform your life as well by just you reading looking at this video and being inspired to either get this book for yourself or going deeper into your personal growth. So with that said, I'll start with chapter 2. There's a science of getting rich. There is a science of getting rich. It is an exact science like an algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches. Once a person learns and obeys these laws, he will get rich with mathematical certainty. The ownership of money and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way. Those who do things in a certain way, whether on purpose or accidentally, get rich. Those who do not do things in a certain way, no matter how hard they work or how able they are, remain poor. It is natural law. Like causes always produce like effects. Therefore, any man or woman who learns to do things in a certain way will infallibly get rich. That the above statement is true is shown by the following facts. Getting rich is not a matter of environment. If it were, all the people in a certain areas would become wealthy. The people of one city would all be rich, while those of other towns would all be poor. The inhabitants of one state would roll in wealth, while those of an adjoining state would be in poverty. We frequently see rich and poor living in the same environment and often engaged in the same vocations. When two people are in the same locality and in the same business, and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment. Some environments may be more favorable than others, but when two people in the same business are in the same neighborhood, and one gets rich while the other fails, it indicates that getting rich is a result of doing things in a certain way. And furthermore, the ability to do things in a certain way is not due solely to the possession of talent, because many people who have great talent remain poor, while others who have very little talent get rich. If we study people who have gotten rich, we find that they are average lot in all respects. It is evident that they do not get rich because they possess unique talents and abilities. They get rich because they happen to do things in a certain way. Getting rich is not the result of saving or thrift. Many very punitive people are poor, while free spenders often get rich. Nor is getting rich due to doing things which others fail to do. Two people in the same business often do almost exactly the same things, and one gets rich while the other remains poor or becomes bankrupt. From all these things, we must come to the conclusion that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. If getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way, then any man or woman who can do things in a certain way become rich. And if like causes always produce like effects, the whole matter can be brought within the domain of an exact science. The question arises whether the certain way may not be difficult that only a few may follow it. As we have seen, this cannot be true so far as natural ability is concerned. Talented people get rich, and blockheads get rich. Intellectually brilliant people get rich, and very stupid people get rich. Physically strong people get rich, and weak and sickly people get rich. Some degree of ability to think and understand is of course essential. But insofar as natural ability is concerned, any man or woman who has sense enough to read and understand these words can certainly get rich. Although we have seen that it is not a matter of environment, location does count for something. One would not go to the heart of the Sahara, and expect to do successful business. Getting rich involves the necessity of dealing with people and of being where there are people to deal with. But that is about as far as environment matters. If anybody else in your own town can get rich, so can you. If anyone else in your state can get rich, so can you. Again, it is not a matter of choosing some particular business or profession. People get rich in every business and in every profession, while their next-door neighbors in the same vocation remain in poverty. It is true that you will do best in a business which you like, and if you have certain talents which are well developed, you will do best in a business which calls for the exercise of those talents. Also, you will do best in a business which is suited to your locality. An ice cream parlor would do better in a warm climate than in Greenland. A salmon fishery will succeed better in the Northwest than in Florida, where there are no salmon. But aside from these general limitations, getting rich is not dependent on your engaging in some particular business, but on your learning to do things in a certain way. If you are now in business and someone else in your locality is getting rich in the same business while you are not getting rich, it is because you are not doing things in the same way that the other person is doing them. No one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital. True, as you get capital, it is increased because it becomes more easy and rapid. But no matter how poor you may be, if you begin to do things in a certain way, you will begin to have capital. The getting of capital is a part of the process of getting rich. It is a part of the result which invariably follows the doing of things in a certain way. You may be the poorest person in the continent and deeply in debt, but if you begin to do things in a certain way, you must infallibly begin to get rich. Because like causes must produce like effects, you will get rich even if you do not have any friends, influence, or other resources. If you have no capital, you can get capital. If you are in the wrong business, you can get in the right business. If you are in the wrong location, you can get in the right location. You can do so by beginning in your present business, in your present location, to do things in a certain way which causes success. Thank you for joining me today.